YouTube Yogis, welcome back. Tina's Yoga Room here. I'm going to guide you through a 45-minute class designed to build your core. So we're going to be doing crunches and planks of different sorts. And then to counter that, lots of twisting, building up towards side crane. Now, if you're not into side crane, which is an arm balance, you don't have to do it, but we are going to prep you into it. We're going to begin on your backs. So you can come, lay down, bring the feet to touch, Supta Baddha Konasana. So arms can go out by your sides, they can touch on your body, and start to notice if you're holding on to any unnecessary tension around the stomach area, around the shoulders, and even within the face and the jaw. Let it all go, especially with every exhale. Get more grounded, softer, and more relaxed. Take this opportunity to send some gratitude to your body for making it onto your mat today. Sometimes I do think that is the hardest part of practice. Start to lengthen your inhales and exhales as you come to a deeper breath, allowing your body to step away from your fight or flight mode. And then we'll start to pick up the energy. So take the knees, draw the legs into center, give yourself a nice squeeze. And then we're going to extend the right leg straight out from the hip. So the leg is just a hover off of the mat. Keep the left knee hugging in and then basket the hands behind your head. So we're going to find some bicycle crunches. Hover the head and the back off of your mat. And on an exhale, try to tap that right elbow towards your left knee. Then you'll inhale back to center and swap the legs. And exhale, left knee towards the right. So inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist to the right. We'll take it one more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, center and curl everything in. Then relax the head down. Hold behind the legs, give a couple of rocks up and down. And we'll come up to a seated position. Now we'll take your bound angle proper. So the feet to touch, the knees splay again. Bump your hips as close to the heels as they work. Take a hold of the tops of the ankles or the insides of the feet. Pull your heart forward to sit nice and tall. And then just drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. A couple of breaths getting into the side of the neck. Then inhale, head back to center. And exhale, left ear towards left shoulder. And inhale back to center. Now you'll take the knees, draw them in, and we'll come forward to your first downward facing dog. Plant the hands down, step the feet back, and your hips go nice and high. Taking some time here to bend into one knee at a time. You can add swaying of the hips and crossing of the knee midline. Add a shaking of the head and the neck. And then settle in. Tailbone lifted high towards the ceiling. The heels don't have to touch down to the mat, but you're intending them down. Then we'll inhale, lift the heels really high, and exhale to bend knees and look forward. Step the feet to touch on your inhale, top of the mat, and exhale, fold. And then an inhale to sweep the arms wide and up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Sun A. Breath in, sweep arms up. Breath out, forward fold. Breath in to find your high plank pose. And breath out, glide forward to find your low plank. And then upward facing dog, inhale. And we'll settle into your downward facing dog again with the hips nice and high. You might take a few more movements, but eventually you're finding stillness in your downward facing dog. Now we're going to come through to sit again, so lift the heels, bend knees, look forward, but this time we come to sit. We're going to take a boat pose, so scoop underneath your thighs and pull your heart forward so you're sitting nice and tall, and then try to get the heels to the height of the knees. Hands at heart center, take a breath in here, and just like we did before with your bicycle crunches, you twist your torso to the right and the knees are going to tick over towards the left. Inhale, you come back to center, and exhale, take it the opposite direction. Inhale, exhale right, inhale, exhale left, inhale, exhale right, and we're going to hold, squeeze the knees together and keep on breathing. Inhale, center, tap down, wrap the arms around your legs. And let's come forward to your tabletop. From tabletop, your right leg is going to shift straight behind you for your three-legged tabletop. Press out through your heel. Left arm is going to extend out in front of you, and now notice how the belly button might be lowering down towards the mat. Really hug all of that in. We're going to simply breathe here instead of doing crunches. So a nice static, strong hold. Find your breath and press arm forward and leg back. Now we're going to keep the leg in the air, lower your left hand down, kickstand this left shin a little wider, and now stack the hips so you've got right on top of left. The right arm is going to sweep all the way up overhead. You've got a grounded half moon. Right arm could also reach long beyond the top of the mat for some side body length. One more piece, bend into the right knee, reach right arm back, and now get into your shoulder as you reach the arm back and keep pressing the hips forward. And then let's release. So the foot comes all the way down, right hand down, left foot will meet you for a high plank pose, and the heels will drop towards the right. You can always lower this right knee down, and now we've got side plank facing left side of the mat. Now you can take your left arm, reach to the front end of your mat. Now look down, left hand down, go straight to your downward facing dog, and then we're going to hop or step the feet to the top of the mat. Take a forward fold, exhale. Let each of your hands face the ceiling and tap the fingers to the thumb. So get a wrist release. Let your head be heavy. Then with your inhale, let's come up to standing. Sweep the arms up. And on an exhale, chair pose as you bend into your knees. Hands are going to find heart center and take it a little lower into your low chair pose. Exhale, twist to the left. Now we're going to keep moving here. Inhale to center and exhale, twist right. Inhale, exhale left, inhale, exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale to the left, and we'll pause here. You might be able to drop the elbow down between the legs, but try not to let that right knee scooch in front of your left one. Heart is higher than your hips. Strong legs, and then take it into your fold. Exhale. Take a step back and find your high plank pose. And exhale, let's glide forward and bend the elbows, low plank. Upward facing dog, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Don't forget to keep some space between each of your fingers, and the heels are spun out of your line of vision. And try not to crowd the shoulders around the ears. You want some space for the neck. Then we're going to float left leg in the air, three-legged dog. And then stack the hips. You got left on top of right this time. Wiggle around the ankle. Draw some circles with the left knee. And then your left foot takes a big step forward, top of the mat. Back heel will stay lifted as you inhale up to your high lunge. And then we'll exhale to twist left. The right hand can drop down to the outside of that left leg, and then the left arm reaches back. So you've got a nice twist. Use your inhale to face forward for your high lunge, and exhale into your warrior two. Basket the hands behind your head and press the head back into the hands. Now we're going to reverse your triangle, so straighten your front leg and then let the right elbow drop back. Left elbow is lifted up, but you're also opening both elbows to the back wall. Inhale, come back to center, keep the hands where they are, bend your front knee, and now a variation of side angle. Let the left elbow come down, right elbow up, but pressing open behind you. Inhale, come right back up. Arms go wide, hands to hips, straighten the front leg and let those toes come in. So we're going to set up for your wide-legged forward fold. Lift your heart and chest on your inhale, and then lean out on your exhale. Hands will find the mat. Hands come all the way down to the floor, and then walk the hands underneath you. Give the head a shaking release. Now walk the hands out underneath your shoulders and bend into your right knee. The hands will come over with you, or you can keep hands at heart center as we go side to side. Inhale, two straight legs, and exhale, bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale, right, and pause. So if hands are at heart center, let's bring right hand down, left hand to your left hip, and take a twist facing the top end of your mat. Then both hands down, walk to straight legs, and then just the hands walk over to left foot to access some length for your right side body. Now let's continue walking around to reface the top end of your mat, and then we'll drop that right knee down. So you're now in your low lunge. Let's walk this left elbow up to your thigh, and then the right arm reaches up. We'll exhale now, open towards the right, and that arm reaches back. So this next piece is going to be very progressive. Work wherever it works best in your body. You can make a bind by floating that back foot and taking a hold of the outer part of that ankle. Working towards a double bind, you look forward. You really have to bring this right shoulder forward. Left arm can now release around and find the inner part of the ankle. Nice heart opener as you lift your chest higher, space for your shoulders, and a quad stretch. Now wherever you are, we'll release both hands down to the mat. Tuck the back toes under, lift that knee up, and we step back. High plank pose. Exhale into your low plank. Inhale to your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take some breaths here. Steady the breath out. Equal length of inhale to exhale. Now let's look forward and come to sit. Return all the way down to your back, but we'll set up for a bridge pose. The feet are on the mat. Heels are slightly kicked out, toes a little bit in. We're gonna lift the hips, traditional bridge pose, arms down by your sides. On your inhale, press the feet down and press the hips up. Make sure that the chin isn't falling in towards the chest. Press the back of the head down. Then we're going to go a little further. So the left leg is going to float in the air. Give that ankle a circle. And now we're going to bring that straight leg just to a hover off of the mat. And then a nice strong leg, inhale right back up. So an exhale, drop that leg to a hover. And inhale it up. One more. Exhale. And inhale. Now it's figure four, left ankle to your right thigh. Keep pressing those hips high and then sink the hips down. Arms are gonna go out by your sides or even a bend at the elbows, and legs will drop over towards the right. So you've got a figure four spinal twist. Gaze can go left. And then you'll gaze straight up, come out of your twist, both legs up into the air, give them a spin at the ankle, spread the toes, and basket behind your thighs. So we're gonna do 3 rocks up and down your spine to then land a boat pose. So get some momentum rocking back and then forward. Exhale back and forward. Exhale back, and then let's try to hold that boat pose. Lift your chest, arms can extend out. And then let's tap down and hug in. So from here, we're going to come forward, keeping on the feet. Walk the hands out in front of you, and now you are on just the balls of the feet and the tiptoes. So you can have a block or some sort of bolster underneath your hips or underneath your knees. Balance, hands can find heart center. We're going to work an arm balance here. So again, work progressively just as far as your body allows today. Let's add a twist to the right. Taking it lower, drop that left elbow down. Furthermore, the hands can go off the side of the mat. Fingertips are facing off the side of the mat. And the left elbow is right at that knee, and the right elbow is at your hip. Take a lean into it, and then see if one or both feet can float off of your mat for your side crane pose. Play around for another breath or 2. And then let's come out. Come face forward. Let the hips rise and the feet will separate hips with distance. Take your 2 first fingers to loop your big toes. Knees can have a bend here. Pull your heart forward and then forward fold. And then find straight arms. Bring hands all the way down to the mat and step back, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Use your downward dogs to continue to find that steady breath. Only one gaze point so your eyes don't wander around. And then get high off the heels, look forward, bend the knees, and we come to sit again. So from here we come into your boat pose, round 2. Let's scoop underneath the legs, lean back and float the shins. Keep pressing your heart forward and then find hands at center. We'll start our twist by twisting left, let the knees tick to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale to the right and hold, but keep breathing. Squeeze the knees together. Lift your heart. Back to center and tap down, hug in. Let's roll forward to your tabletop. We're going to hold that bird dog pose. So I think this is really great to solidify the core strength. Let's send left leg back in the air, kick out through the heel. Zip your core up, you'll feel the low back press a little higher, and the right arm extends. So you hold here. Find a breath, find a gaze point. Strong leg, strong shoulder. And then lower just the hand down. Kickstand your right shin wider, stack left hip on top of right. And now you can release the left arm, circling the hand, and then reaching the left arm long. You can go for a bind here by bending the knee, and now that left arm reaches back, so you get a lot more opening for the shoulder and the front of the chest. Then extend, lower the foot at the back of the mat, hand down. Right foot meets it, plank, but now the heels spin left, and you can drop the left knee down. Right arm opens up, so you've got your side plank, and the right arm can now reach long. Now let's look down, go to plank, and straight to downward facing dog. Look forward, hop or step, feet to the top of the mat, and exhale, take your fold. Inhale, come up to standing. And exhale, chair pose, hands to heart center. We'll take your chair pose dynamic work. So we'll start by exhaling to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, center. Then exhale to the right, and we're holding this twist. The hips like to come out of alignment, so keep the knees in line, which keeps your hips in line. Heart is higher than the hips. And release, forward fold. Give the head a shake. Step back, inhale, plank. Exhale, low plank. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Find your breath, steady out. Then right leg will lift for three-legged dog, and we're stacking and bending the knee here. So circle right ankle, and then draw big circles with the knee, getting into your hips. And straighten the leg, look forward, and step. Right foot forward, back heel is lifted, and we come up to your high lunge. From high lunge, we'll make a twist. So over to the right, left hand comes down to the leg, and the right arm reaches back. Inhale, face forward. And exhale, let's find your warrior two. So back heel is now dropping down. And we're basketing hands behind your head. Straighten your front leg and reverse your triangle by leaning the body backwards. Right elbow up, but then really press the arms open behind you. Then come back to center, bend the knee, and side angle variation. So now you lean out, but don't lose the breath. Inhale up, extend the arms, hands to hips, and straighten the leg. Let these right toes angle in. So I'm just gonna spin around, and now let's kick the heels in. So we're gonna set up for your goddess. Bend the knees, track the knees back. So you don't want the knees collapsing inward. Hands to heart center. Toes are pretty light here, most of the weight is in the heels. And just see how low you can go. And then inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms as tall as you can. And exhale, sink it down again. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, sink. One more. Breath in. And breath out. Hold here, strong legs. Tailbone down, belly button in. And if you'd like, both heels float away from the mat. And then lower, straighten the legs, hands to hips, set the toes in, and we'll take that forward fold. Arms wide, interlace at the low back. Big reach up with an inhale, and then a lean out for your exhale. Reaching the knuckles as high towards the ceiling as you can. If this is absolutely not working on your shoulders, you can take elbows or even just rest the hands down. Then come up to about halfway so that you can lower the hands down to the mat, and we'll add the side bend. Let's bend into your left knee. Hands are walking over with you, or they can stay at heart center the whole time. Inhale, center, straight legs, and exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, left, and we pause. So you've got left hand to the ground, right hand to your hip, and twist. Now both hands come down, back to center, and now you walk the hands towards that right foot. So we're getting into the left side body. Release the head. Now you'll continue walking all the way around so that you're refacing the top end of your mat. I'm just facing the opposite direction, and drop that left knee down so you've got your low grounded lunge. Let the hips sink, and then right elbow to that thigh. Left arm sweeps up, and take your twist left. So you're reaching that arm back. If you went further, picking up that back foot, and you're finding outer ankle. Perfect place to stay, or if you're going further, turn to face forward. And unload that right arm around to find the inner ankle. Try to lift as tall as you can. And then release. Both hands down, left leg long. Pick up the back knee so you can step right foot back, high plank. And exhale, low plank. To upward dog. And downward facing dog. Let's come forward to sit. And then all the way down to the back. Setting up for that bridge pose. Checking in that the feet are parallel, toes slightly kicked in, and there is separation between the feet and the knees. Arms down by your sides. On your inhale, let the hips float. Have some space in the throat. Lift the chin a bit. And then right leg in the air. Circle out. And then exhale to a hover. Inhale, float up. Exhale, hover. Inhale, float. Last one, exhale. Inhale, up and figure four. Right ankle to left thigh. Press the hips for a breath. And then lower the hips down. Legs shift to the left for your twist. Arms can go wide or bend the elbows. Gaze to the right. Then let's come back to center. You can extend right leg and then left, give a spin. Hug in. Now we're gonna do something similar to what we did the first round where we rocked up and down, but this time on the third round, we're gonna try to come up into that low, low squat. It'll look something like this. We get momentum and then try to come right into that squat. And if it doesn't work, just give it a try and come in any way that's possible. So let's take 2 full rocks and try to come up on the third. So take your lean back and then forward. Another one like that, back and forward. Let's try to stick this one back and forward, or come in any way that worked. You're in this low, tight squat. I'm just gonna move so I don't bump into the wall. We're gonna add a twist so you can exhale to the left. Lower twist, elbow down. And if you're going for the arm balance, your side crane pose, the right elbow is on the side of the knee. Drop the hands down and the left elbow finds that back hip. You lean out and then see if one or both feet can float. And then really try and play around with it, find your edge. Eventually then working yourself out of it to face forward. Lift your hips, feet hips distance. Let's now pick up the feet, let the hands go underneath. Spread the fingers wide and then fold. Really step the feet down into the hand, into the wrist, into the fingers. This is not a shape we ever take. Your hands are being stepped on by your feet. Different kind of energy. And then let's look forward, release the hands so that they can come to the top of the mat. And then take your step back, high plank. Exhale, glide forward, bend elbows and squeeze them inward. And then upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Nice deep breaths. Relax the shoulders. Let's look forward and come to sit. And then once again, coming all the way down to your back. So we are going to work shoulder stand here. If you have any neck issues, I would not go to the highest expression of the pose. So the very basic position of the pose would be letting the legs float into the air. Now, if you don't have any neck issues and you're somewhat familiar with shoulder stand, do not move the head around. So do not try to find me in your screen. Keep looking straight up. You let the legs drop as far back as they can. And as they do, the hips lift up and you try to hold on to the low back. Squeeze the elbows in and then extend the legs into the air. You can move around the ankles, make some space in the toes again. And just start to gaze at the big toes. We'll take this towards plow pose. So you'd let the legs fall back behind you. Keep the hands at your low back. If your toes touch down, then you can let the arms go long. Otherwise, keep the hands at your low back. Now everyone's hands to the low back. Let's take the legs all the way up. Slowly lower the hips back down. And let the legs go long out in front of you. So a counter pose is fish pose. Pick up your hips and let the hands rest right underneath. Then come up onto your forearms. Let the chin lift and the crown of the head now goes right on the mat. So again, if you've got neck issues, just avoid this pose. And then pick the head up to release it back down. Let the hands come out from underneath you. Bring the feet into touch, let the knees splay. And you've got a hand on your heart, a hand on the belly. For a few moments, just feel the breath, your inhales, your exhales. Then let's gather the knees into center. Give some rocks around side to side. A couple rocks to come up to sit. Legs long out in front. So a seated forward fold, press out through the heels. Lean your whole torso forward and then let the hands rest where they rest. And inhale yourself up. Let's take very final vinyasa. Come forward, plant your hands. Find your last high plank pose. Imagine it was your first, nice and strong. Glide forward and bend elbows. Upward face, pull heart forward, crown of the head up. And very final downward facing dog. So for this last dog, feel free to take some petals, walk it out, sway the hips, move the head. And then let's return to sit. Come all the way back down onto your back. Let's end with a happy baby. Drawing the legs down. You can rock side to side. And then let the legs go. Let the arms rest by your sides. Take a deep breath in. A sigh out. And enjoy these next few moments of rest. Come back to the space with a deep breath. Wiggle around the ankles, the wrists, the head. Stretch the arms long, legs long. And curl in, maybe bringing the nose up to the knees. And then dropping onto your right side. And then come on up to a comfortable seat. Thanks so much for joining class, my virtual yogis. If you haven't yet subscribed, do me a favor and click that button right below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.